Have you ever sat down to finish a project and 10 minutes later you're scrolling TikTok or staring at the ceiling? Feels like laziness, but it isn't. That's called a habit. A habit is a mental shortcut that allows the brain to conserve energy instead of deciding each time we want to do something. We got used to seeing a habit as a bad and harmful thing, a synonym of addiction. But what if I told you that this could actually be helpful? Or what if I told you that they're much easier to change than people think? High performers such as Warren Buffett use habits to eliminate decision fatigue so they could focus their energy into their tasks of the day. By the end of the video, you'll understand why bad habits feel so hard to break, and you'll have a system to start replacing them with better ones. A bad habit can be defined as a trap that disguises itself as a shortcut. We all use our phone every day to scroll on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, but if we notice closely, it's just a shortcut to cure boredom. The real difference between a bad habit and a good one is that a bad habit has negative physical, emotional, or psychological consequences, while a good habit has positive ones. At the end of the day, habits were designed to remove the mental strain and help us. But the same can be applied backward, and that's how bad habits like scrolling became so popular in modern society. In other words, a bad habit is just a habit that feels good or helps you in the moment, but ends up hurting your life because it gets in the way of better choices. But that's a good explanation. Really, when a habit is formed, your brain doesn't need to work to find what it is looking for. You move in autopilot. The only problem is that you don't necessarily make the connection with the long-term effects. For example, in school, they teach you that smoking is bad for health, but smokers don't pick up the cigarette to pass out faster. They do it because it alleviates their feeling of stress, and in that moment, stress needs to be removed from their systems. So they do it and do it until eventually the bad effects kick in. Bad habits are really just a highway to pleasure. The problem is that your brain forgot how to take any other route, and that's what makes them dangerous. Taking a step further, habits live in the basal ganglia, a part of the brain that operates unconsciously. Also, willpower is a prefrontal cortex function. This is the conscious, effortful, decision-making part of the brain. Most people try to break bad habits using conscious willpower to fight an automatic behavior. It's like trying to steer a car that's already on cruise control. The problem with bad habits is that your brain learns these behaviors is equal to the reward. And once that learning is encoded, it's hard to fight off if you don't know what you're doing. The worst part is that people think the solution is pouring on more willpower, but that's not true. The solution is updating the reward value your brain has assigned to the behavior. What if I told you that about 40% of your daily behaviors are habits? That means almost half of your day isn't really a decision, it's just your brain following yesterday's instructions. So, if willpower isn't the answer, what it is? The most effective way to break a bad habit isn't to fight it, it's to replace it. And first, we need to identify which is the trigger of the bad habit. And there's 5 types of triggers. The first one is location-based cues, an environment that triggers the habit, such as your bed. Second, there's emotional cues. These are feelings that trigger responses, such as envy. Third, there are people-based cues, such as people trying to do something together, such as smoking a cigarette or doing drugs. Pretending actions, which are previous behaviors that set off a chain of reactions, such as gaming for hours and then hopping on your phone. And finally, fifth, time-based cues. These are habits that are fixed on your calendars. You need careful observation to spot which cues drive your habits and to eliminate them as soon as possible. But before we build a better habit, we first need to understand how to dismantle the old one. We can do it following 3 steps. The first step to breaking a bad habit is increasing awareness. Awareness doesn't remove the habit, but it gives you a chance to interrupt it. The second step is staying calm. Instead of acting on the urge, in simple terms, do not listen to the urge of doing the bad habit. You can do this by replacing it with a good habit. And the third step is modifying your environment. If you want to go to the gym, leaving your gym clothes overnight in your seat or bed can help. You just have to put them on and leave for the gym. No need to choose them. For example, if you want to stop scrolling on your phone, applying these steps might look like this. First, call out every time you pick up your phone to scroll and say, "Look, I'm trying to cure my boredness by scrolling." After that, you hop on a better and more helpful habit like walking or even playing some music until your brain just gives up, usually around the 2-3 minute mark. And this is called urge surfing. And third, is to not go on your phone, where you will usually go on your phone. This can be like no phone in bed, for example. The study of the University of Surrey suggests that it can take up to 66 days to change a bad habit, with some being in the rate of 18 to 254 days, depending on the person and the complexity of the habit. You're not fighting the habit, you're building a competing pathway stronger than the old one. So, how can we actually build helpful habits that last? It's not applying more willpower, and it's definitely not like people try to do it. Most people I've seen trying to leave bad habits always make the same mistake, that being trying to go too fast. Here, let's do a quick game. I'm going to say 2 habits and you'll tell me which one will you be more capable of doing. The first one is going to the gym for 1 hour. The second one is drinking water in the morning. Exactly, drinking water in the morning, not because it's the most helpful of the two, but because it's the easiest to do. Studies out that a gym trainer actually told his client to just go to the gym, take a selfie, and come back home. That one change increases client performance by 62%. More importantly, people didn't quit because the workouts were too hard. The question is, can we apply the same principle to our habits? Turns out we can, with 3 steps. First step is making the habit ridiculously small. If your goal is to work out for an hour, don't start with an hour, start with 10 minutes or even 5. The goal isn't to get fit in one day, it's to make showing up so easy that your brain has no reason to resist it. The second step is consistency. If you can stay consistent enough time, the habit will stop feeling as a task and more as a part of you. You notice you don't need to think about locking your front door to actually lock your front door. When you stay consistent enough, you can make a habit way easier. The third step is implementing intention. Research by Peter Goldwasser shows that people who form specific if-then plans are roughly 3 times more likely to follow a habit than people who set goals. Picture it for a second. If you say to yourself, I have to edit this 12-minute video, it sounds bland, unappetizing, and the reward is just invisible. But if you instead use the if-then method, it can be something like this. If it's 5 p.m., then I edit for 20 minutes. Now it's different, it's already on the timetable. But whatever you do, never fall into the trap of building multiple habits at once. This is because it overloads your mental energy, depends on prior motivation, and creates an all or nothing trap. Most people like me build habits one by one because it lets them become part of you, and it makes you not lose all of your motivation and mental energy. And also, missing one day doesn't matter. Research from the UCL found that a single mistake had little measurable impact on long-term habit formation. The key is returning to the behavior as soon as possible. If you keep telling yourself you're bad for not working out yesterday, you'll get drowned in your own blame and miss the next day and the day after that. The hard truth is that hard tasks become easier over time, but the true challenge is committing to them every single day. If you've enjoyed this video, you might find the top one on my left interesting, or you could just let YouTube choose your destiny with the bottom one. In any case, thanks for watching. I hope I'll see you in the next one.